and you're doing this because you're so narrow focused on this one thing, which is YouTube. And it's totally true. Like, there are so many other things that I want to do, so many other things that I can do, and I just have refused to look at it because I've always seen YouTube as my job. And even though I haven't liked it, I've said, you know, people have jobs that they don't like, and it's work. You don't always like work, you just do it anyway. So I think the title of this video is pretty self-explanatory. It's not a joke, it's for real. And there's some of you out there who might be happy by it, and that's on you, I guess. I have decided to be done with YouTube. And this is, I think, a decision that's actually been in the works for a long time, and I never wanted to look at it. And then just last night, I finally decided to. And it actually wasn't like that hard of a decision once I laid it out and realized what was going on. I think after this video, I have one more video that's edited, and that'll go up, and then after that, I think I'm gonna be pretty much done. I will say, when I move into college and stuff, there'll be some videos around that, but then afterwards, I'll probably maybe do one a month, but it's definitely not going to be, I guess, my job anymore. I will just come right out and say that I do not handle stress very well, and it's something that I'm working on, something that I'm trying to get better at. But ever since I was like little, like as young as I can remember, like 5 years old, I would stress over things to the point that I made myself sick. Like my stomach was always hurting, we didn't know what was wrong, and kind of ever since then, my mental state has kind of manifested itself in a physical state. And I'm not saying that, you know, any illness that I've gotten is because I'm stressed, but I think that definitely we have an effect on our mental and physical being. Like, I definitely know that they're connected. So I know a couple videos ago when I said that I was going to be filming through college, I had said that I had this goal of filming at least to the end of my high school years. So I wanted to at least be able to go to high school graduation. And I think that's always a goal that I mentally set for myself, but looking back on it, I also think that it's something that just my gut told me. What's interesting is looking at it yesterday, I realized that as soon as like I got to my graduation, that's kind of when my stress levels went up, that's kind of when my health went down, and that's when I tried to keep pushing and doing YouTube, and I don't think that I was supposed to do that. Interestingly enough, that's when my allergies got really, really bad. That's when my stomach started hurting again. My like period cramps got like worse than they've ever been ever. And again, not saying that all of that is just because of stress, but I think it was definitely amplified by that. But I definitely think my gut was telling me to be done with it when I graduated high school. So yesterday I was talking to my parents about this and thinking about it. I kind of realized that I have not been backed into a corner. And that's one thing they pointed out. They said, you're not backed into a corner right now. It's quite the opposite. You have like all these things around you that you can do, and you're doing this because you're so narrow focused on this one thing, which is YouTube. And it's totally true. Like, there are so many other things that I want to do, so many other things that I can do, and I just have refused to look at it because I've always seen YouTube as my job. And even though I haven't liked it, I've said, you know, people have jobs that they don't like, and it's work. You don't always like work, you just do it anyway, you know.
That is so wrong. I feel like it might come across, no, not come across that, but like, because I don't post as much on YouTube as I used to in the beginning, it might come across like that. But I do post more on Instagram, so go follow my Instagram and link in the description. It's literally just that down to the fact that, first of all, I literally have no idea what to film anymore. Like, I feel like there's no proper trends, and I know you might have heard me talk about this before, but there really isn't. Like, there's literally no trends at all, so that's really hard. And also, I don't really do vlogging. I do school, like there's not much to vlog there. Also, I'm not very organized recently. Like, I just need to get organised. This is what happens. See, I'm talking, I've been doing my foundation for about 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm literally not organised at all. Like, my mum has to push me to like film, and it's not because I don't want to, it's just once I'm in the moment I love it, but it's the motivation to do it. I just don't really have any motivation.
And you're doing this because you're so narrow focused on this one thing, which is YouTube. And it's totally true. Like, there are so many other things that I want to do, so many other things that I can do, and I just have refused to look at it because I've always seen YouTube as my job. And even though I haven't liked it, I've said, you know, people have jobs that they don't like and it's work. You don't always like work, you just do it anyway. While that can be true, I think it's gone to a whole nother extreme, to the point that I don't take care of myself anymore. Like, I've stopped exercising, I've stopped eating well, always getting sick, you know, so that's definitely gotten to the unhealthy point that I think it's time to walk away from it. Another big part of it that I'll just straight up admit is that the hate over the last year and a half has really honestly kind of sucked. The second question is, what is it like being the oldest? What are the pros and cons, and does it come with responsibility? Being the oldest, you do have to babysit a lot, and you don't, at least in our family, you get paid for it by getting new clothes, not necessarily money. Your sports get paid for, that's kind of like your payment. Some cons to it is sometimes you do have more responsibility, but I think as you get older, you naturally get responsibility whether or not you're the oldest. Being the oldest, you do have to babysit a lot, and you don't, at least in our family, you get paid for it by getting new clothes, not necessarily money. Your sports get paid for, that's kind of like your payment.
I posted a TikTok of my mock results because I did a TikTok where I predicted what I was getting, and then I duetted it with like what I actually got. I got so much hate on it, and it didn't really bother me because I feel like it wasn't anything to do with me well, it is, but like, it's really hard to explain. To be fair, I feel like my mindset's different to some people. Like, I honestly couldn't care less what I got as long as I passed. And like, also, I thought I was going to be so much more worse. I didn't really revise properly. I really don't know how to revise. I'm dyslexic, which obviously isn't like an excuse, but like, it also means that I struggle in school. So the fact that I got that, I was really happy with. And then like, I posted it and I was like, everyone's like, this is awful, like you should be embarrassed and stuff. And I'm like, okay, like acting like it's your grades, like it doesn't, okay fine if you care out your grades, but I don't. So what's the point on hating on my grades when, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
to be honest, it's easier sometimes and sometimes it's not easy. Like, I don't let it get to me because it's kind of the same with like people who are like not nice to you in school. You just got to try and ignore it and not let it get to you, because you don't know these people and they don't necessarily know everything about you. So you've got to think they can't comment on things like that because they don't know me, and I just need to focus on myself, on my family, and everything like that. But sometimes it does get to you, especially if you have people saying things maybe about like your appearance, about your family, and especially when it's things that aren't true. It's really like hard sometimes to try and just push it to the side. But I always like, this looks really awful, I don't know what I'm doing. But one way that I like kind of cope with it, I guess, is I always like have a diary with me. I always write things down. I always have my amazing parents as well, who I can always talk to about this kind of stuff, especially my mom, who is just absolutely amazing, and I just love her so much. She's amazing and my biggest inspiration.
So it started just as I turned 17, and now I'm 18 and a half, and it's been every single day on YouTube, on Instagram. You know, I hear about it on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. And, you know, at first it was funny because, you know, it was just so blatantly false what people were saying. And it still is, but I think reading it every single day for over a year really starts to take a toll on somebody. And I firmly believe that offense is a choice, that you choose to be offended. And I stand by that, and I still believe it to be true. But I also think that just there's this vibe or energy that comes with that of just having constant hate that really does start to wear down on somebody. And so for that reason, I turned off my comments on Instagram except for to people I follow. I might turn off my YouTube comments in the next couple days, just depending on how things go. But I need to also take a step back from that and reading all of that, because it's enough for anyone to handle, but I think especially someone so young, it's not something that anybody deserves or anything that
have my amazing parents as well, who I can always talk to about this.
Today, and can I bring a lunch over to the school? This happens quite often when you're raising children, because I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having a lunch, and it would ease her discomfort if I came to the school with a lunch. But I responded and just said Eve is responsible for making her lunches in the morning, and she actually told me she did pack a lunch. So the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry, and hopefully nobody gives her food and nobody steps in and gives her a lunch.
Have my amazing parents as well, who I can always talk to about this.
Anyone should have to go through. I've always known that YouTube isn't what I'm supposed to do with my life. I've always kind of viewed it as a stepping stool into something else. I'm definitely grateful for the things that YouTube has taught me. I have a skill set that I wouldn't have learned anywhere else. I've worked with contracts for years. I've worked with big businesses, marketing, advertising, like all this stuff that I wouldn't have learned anywhere else. I'm so grateful to have had that opportunity. And it's definitely helping me with other jobs that I'm working on right now. And I've also met some really amazing people, and most of you I haven't even met, but a lot of you have had a great impact on my life, and I'm sure that you guys feel the same way.
No, I don't have a boyfriend right now, guys, but I'm not talking to somebody, but I'm getting to know someone. But I don't have a boyfriend, no, unfortunately I don't.
So I will still be on Instagram, I'll still be posting and stuff. That'll kind of be where my updates are going on if you want to follow along. My Instagram username is down in the description box. Again, comments will probably be off for the next foreseeable future, but if you want to follow along, that's where the best place to do it will be. There's definitely going to be some downsides to leaving YouTube. There's always consequences, obviously, for everything that we do. But I think that the benefits outweigh those. So that's another reason why I'm choosing to be done with this. Again, like I said, I'm not completely leaving it. Like, you'll still see from me. It just will definitely be a small fraction of the time that I've been on. So I guess in closing, I'll just say thank you all so much for the last, how many years has it been? Like 6, it's been more than, like probably 6 years. You guys have all been amazing. I think another thing I realized was that I am still trying to make content that like 14-year-old Sherry would have made, and I'm not 14 anymore, I'm 18, and one thing that's really hard with YouTube, or really just social media in general, is that once you find kind of a niche or, you know, an area that you've built your brand around, it's really hard to change that to something else. And so while trying to make content that people would like, I've been doing that by making content that I don't like.
This was all Sherry's idea when she realized she wasn't going to be going to prom. She said, well, can't I invite my date to come to the house and we throw prom? here. And we thought that would be a really fun idea. We said, you do have to include your little brothers and sisters. And she agreed to it, and her date said that that would be fine with him too. So, Sherry, your date's here. Sherry, your date's here. Oh, you look so pretty. Come down. You look beautiful, honey. First date that you can, first prom that you can get away with no shoes. It'll be the most comfortable prom you've ever been to.
Yes, it will. Hey, I took my shoes off last prom along with every other girl.
Hey there. Sherry, your date's here. Did you have any problems finding our house? Awesome. I am so glad you're here. Do you want to come in, make yourself comfortable? Go ahead and hop right here on the couch. Come on, don't be shy. Sherry will be down in just a minute. Do you like my outfit? I'm Scottish royalty. Have a seat. A couple ground rules that are very important, okay? I will expect you to uphold these. First of all, I know that you like to kiss Sherry, but honestly, tonight, I'm just going to tell you, keep your tongue to yourself. Second, very important, there will be absolutely no sitting in Sherry's lap. And third, absolutely no petting during the dance. Okay, are we good? Shake? Okay. We have a deal.
This was all Sherry's idea.
Good. Now you two lovebirds have fun tonight.
My date is here! I'm so glad you're here! Oh, hi! I'm so happy to see you. Right, he even wore a bow tie. And I mean, it sounds super obvious saying it out loud that that's probably not something you should do, but it's something I've been doing, I think, for at least a year now. And I'm interested in things like law and reading and stuff that I don't think most people are interested in, and that's totally okay. Like, we all have different interests, but it's just something that I don't think I can keep doing, is making content that I don't enjoy. I guess in closing, again, just thank you all so much for your support over the years. And I'll say this to everybody, to people that hate me and to people that love me. I hope you all find what you're looking for, whatever that be in life. And I also know that there's a God above who knows what we say and how we treat people, and that one day we'll stand accountable for how we treated others, both on social media and in person. And we'll also stand accountable for the way we treated ourselves, which is why I need to step away so I can take better care of myself as well.
So cute. This is the cutest, I mean, because it's got a yellow wall. You guys know me, I love the yellow.
There are 2 rooms that are joined together with one big area.
Yeah, so the kids can be in one side, there's like a jacuzzi in there, and then the adults on the other side with big bathrooms, and look at this view.